Hey everybody, SMITE, welcome back to another patch notes video. I think I actually didn't do a patch notes video on the last one. Uh, my bad on that. I was invested in getting those Shiva videos, so I just did not get around to that. Anyway, we're here for Heavenly Light 9.3 update. Before we do that, bonus 9.2, got some cool skins, more in the corrupted thing. Right here, we got this big ugly dude. That's probably my favorite skin because it's funny just to think that's Kuzenbo. And there's the Willick skin over here. A new Thor skin, which I don't know if we've had one in a while actually. Anyway, the main part of this is the changes they teased in a tweet before to nerf flat pin because mages are too strong. Well, they cut the flat pin from 15 to 12. I don't know that has solved the problem. I think 10 would have been the better number. Celestial Legion Helm getting his power nerf. That's fine. I like that. This was not really what I think people were hoping with how the game's felt lately. I think people were hoping for bigger nerfs than that. Because most of the time you're going to have 6 less pin overall. You know? Because most of the time you're only building 2 flat pin items. So it doesn't seem like it's quite enough change for what we're going for. This is fine. I think the passive should probably be turned down on this too, but you know. Anyway, Seer the Jungle. Let's see. Wards win games. Thus being able to take out wards is an even more powerful way to win the game. This item has become the #1 jungle item, and for good reason. I guess it still kind of depends on the god. The passive has an internal cooldown, which can lead to some clunky situations, so we're removing this while also nerfing stats to keep other jungle starters in competition. Decreased physical power 70 to 65, decreased magical power 105 to 95, decreased attack speed to 25%, and remove the internal cooldown. Belt of the Berserker, this got popular. Decreased initial damage buff 30% to 25%, decreased initial attack speed buff 50% to 40%. Zeus, what tier is it? Zeus needs a nerf. And yeah, he went straight from weird situational god that only a few people would play to a potential first pick god. In SBL, you obviously don't see him as a first pick that often, or as often as that in ranked. But anyway, Detonate Charge, they decrease the base damage by 10 at all ranks. So the what? Through the 1.7 and 2.4x multiplier, this has the following effects on detonate at 2 and 3 stacks. Also, they're giving you the numbers on that. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, of course, we see Soul dominating as a mage ADC. Unstable Manifestation, which is the passive, decrease the buff on her basic attacks while at max heat from 20% to 15%. That's fine. Izanami has been performing high. They decrease the base power and base attack speed. They want to lower her ability to clear. I don't know if that does that enough. Shiva getting a nerf. I think they like to make the pun here. There have been enough destroyer jokes on social media to write 100 patch notes with. Yeah, well. So he's performing better than expected, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing these. Blazing Sweep, decreased physical power scaling from 60 to 55% on initial hit. Shiva Tendava, decreased physical power scaling from 50 to 45% to the Destruction Dance. which also decreases the scaling from 25 to 22.5% on the amplification dance per hit. Pillar of Dawn decreased damage mitigation from 40 to 30%. Gilgamesh getting nerfed again because this god's always top jungle. Or a top jungler, yeah. Heroes Advanced decreased physical power scaling from 50 to 40%. Winds of Shamash decreased physical power scaling from 50 to 40%. Keep in mind he's a warrior, so his scaling stats aren't that big. Generally speaking, Basta performing well, but they're going to nerf Pounce. Decrease base damage from 80 to 340 to 80 to 300. They just don't want the top end burst on this. Decrease physical power scaling from 100 to 90%. Overtuned burst. Here we go. Assassin supports are just all around a broken god that can probably play 5 roles, but you know. Ragnarok, decrease the duration of this ability from 5 to 4 seconds. Decrease the time that Fenrir can hold an enemy after biting from 2 to 1.575 seconds. Applies for its full length after the initial duration, even if Fenrir grabs someone at the last second. Now gives 20 to 60% magical and physical protections instead of 2x. Because that's a little much when you're playing support. The base damage on his 3 should still be reduced, but that will never happen, I guess. Anyway, main stuff. Here we go. Izanami tier 5. Different forms. Her 3 triggers, different ones. This one's kind of weird looking. Anyway, Funny Bones Baron. That's a fun one. Same thing as the go through the one there. Hades skin. A little weird to me. I don't know if I'm a fan. His head seems a little funny. A little too cartoonish. We have Botskins, which this is just a recolor of a Cupid skin here. Got the Rambo Uller skin. Hey. Bow and axe is perfect for your boy. Now, of course, they did this in the past with the Commando Rom skin. They tried to make it a Rambo, but this is actually officially Rambo, so and there you go. It's licensed by Lionsgate. Shiva skin, Anubis skin, cool. All the things. Don't spend time on skin. This is a recolor. What is that? Like, that's all that is. There's the bonus, which will be applied next week. This is March 22nd. Bonus for that is April 5th, and then the Rambo Prime Gaming release. There it is. April 7th. Quality of life stuff. Don't really care. Items in the viewer store will now rotate. Okay. Custom matches creating custom games. Pre-save defaults. Players can now choose these options as the starting point to more quickly create custom games. Competitive Conquest. SPL and Scrim format. Ooh, that's fun. Ranked all ban drafts format. Infinite Assault, Omnipotence, Grab Bag, Cup Runneth Over, joust the 2 of us. There you go. Player pick setting has new options. All pick, enemy pick, blah blah. New advanced options that players can modify mana cost, base cooldown, max cooldown, gold spooling, XP spooling, starting arena ticket count. Browsing custom matches, you will be able to see the map and pick band type. UI home screen, background environment has been updated. Ordering chaos lobbies, the background environment has been updated. Item shop. Selecting a bot relic in your inventory will now route you to that relic's tree as opposed to the all relic view. And then the new tier 5 skin. Cool. 4 forms, heart, spade, diamond, clothes. These zombie changes her form when she uses fade away. Skin is a special emote or VXG. It does not cause her to change forms, unlike the chalk one. The skin special emote has a built-in quest system and upgrade system. Every time Izanami gets a kill or assists, she will draw 4 cards. These will appear behind her god model facing the player camera. If the cards are a 4-of-a-kind match, she will unlock an upgraded special emote for the form she is currently in. Upgraded special emote will have a different animation. So the upgrade special emote will also toggle on or off additional material particle effects grade. Players will need to complete the quest 4 times, 1 on each form. All progress is permanent and tracked across the number of normal ranked matches. Once you unlock forms emote, you have access to it permanently. If you toggle forms, blah, okay. It's a lot of stuff. A bunch of bug fixes. Fix an issue where players could get stuck in the end of match lobby. New acquisition screen. Fix live. Fix an issue with PC version. Sometimes show controller button. Yeah, I'm not going to read all the bugs. Sorry. Bugs. The bug section I skip all the time because it's long and boring. Balance. Game modes, Conquest Towers, Tier 1 and Tier 2, increase base damage to enemy gods by 10%. Obelisk, decrease the sight radius that the obelisk provides from 30 to 20 units, increase the amount of time it takes to steal an offering from 3 to 4 seconds. Nagas, these no longer provide team gold. That's the ones with the permanent flower icon. So the purple snake people, you know. Fixed an issue where these monsters' level scaling was not capping appropriately. These will now be marked on the minimap and have the proper visual effects to convey that drop offerings. Guys, come on with the grammar. Seriously? Arena, decrease golden XP spooling from 12 to 11. Okay. General, players can only buy 1 glyph because that seems fair because it's a full item upgrade. Most of the time, you're only buying 1 anyway. The only gods this is really going to affect are going to be tanks that were getting the Heartward and Breastplate upgrade at the same time. Which is fine that you don't have both. I think that's a fair balance point. Anyway. Oh, Amulet Science. What did they do with this? This item will now only trigger and consume the cooldown if it successfully applies to an enemy god. Oh. How convenient. Thorns of Overgrowth. Increase the radius of the bonus buffs from 40 to 55 units. Because people weren't really building this one, I don't think. Thorns of Sapping Strength. Increase the duration from 2 to 3 seconds. Cool. Bracer of Illumination. Decrease cooldown from 100 to 90 seconds. Increase the range of the patrolling ward from 60 to 80 units. Increase the speed by 15% of its current speed. And the Berserker Berserker Shield change. This might be important to read, so we'll go ahead and do it. A major feature of this SMITE update comes in the form of Berserker Shield being reworked, as well as a series of other warrior item balance changes. This shield is single-handedly driving the meta build jungle in the solo lane. It has given life to a lot of new gods in solo, which is great, but it's also keeping a lot of the same gods OP that jungle, encouraging them to build tankier than we would like. How many junglers benefit from the well, Mercury does, Nem does, Gilgamesh does. Yeah. Fair. Our goal with this rework is to move the item specifically toward the solo lane. It's losing a lot of its aggressive states, specifically percent pin and its passive, and instead picking up more elements of survivability, which ultimately will be a buff. We'll get to it, though. Warriors and Assassins often benefit from the same items. Okay. Anyway, moving on. It's 2,400 gold, which I think was the original cost. Anyway, 30 power, which is a reduction. 60 physical protection, which is an increase. 25% attack speed, which might be the same. 15 HP 5. See, the problem with this thing... Oh, and then if you drop below 40% health, you get Berserk. It provides 7% damage mitigation. The problem with this is you added a sustain stat to this and did this, which makes it just a objectively better item for the guys that were already building it and already are annoying in solo right now. You've just made it better for them, essentially, in my opinion, anyway, because you get plus 15 HP 5 when you've probably already got Death Toll. And then this thing, like, when is anybody killing you? If you're playing Osiris, when do you die? Never. Like, I don't see when you die. I don't... Just makes it hard to gank anybody. Which I guess is fine, because ganks in solo have been weird lately, but... it can also now be built by all physical gods, but if you're a hunter, you may not really want to do that. Because it's 60 prods. And it's less power. It's the same amount of attack speed, don't forget that. I don't know, somebody will build this on a hunter, and then we'll all be mad. Aussie updated text to clarify how it functions differently from Berserker Shield. Okay. I don't know why. Because, yeah, Aussie just activates as long as you're below the health threshold. I don't think I needed that. Blackthorn Hammer increased physical power from 25 to 30 because people, I guess, quit building it and they want that buff to really. Wait, no, they reverted the prot protection added, didn't they? Oh, yeah, there's no prots on it anymore. I think that lasted for like 3 days and then they got rid of it. Let's see. Spike Shield decreased cost from 1600 to 1400, added 50 health. Void Shield still costs 2600. Glad Shield increased health from 200 to 250. Cows are getting buffed because no one likes them. Increased physical power from 15 to 20. Leader's Cow increased physical power from 40 to 50. Keen Sai, no one's building it. Decreased cost from 2700 to 2600. Wanted to give hunters a small edge toward tank shredding. I mean, they're kind of okay with it already. I don't know if you really need to do that. Yone's Frosty decreased the item's internal cooldown from 60 to 30 seconds because I guess people may be not getting the full passive in games. Also, I don't know that people are really building this item that often. Katana decreased costs across the board by 50 for some reason. Will remain at the current. So rated edge will remain the current total cost by increasing the gold it takes to upgrade them from tier 2 to tier 3. Golden Blade will remain at the current total cost. Yep. Jade Emperor's Crown increased health from 300 to 350. Increased power debuff from 10 to 15%. Anti-gank. Because they really overbuffed it, I think. And then they changed it, and then it was weaker than they wanted. So they put other things on it, I guess. Only 100 Scarf increased health from 100 to 200. Nice. Helps with the passive. Because, well, it has the least base stats, I think, out of the other items. Because it has a mitigation passive. Which only works in team fights, so maybe... but giving that some help is worth it. Habwa removed the self root on Habwa while firing water spout. That's the same thing they did with Zeus's ultimate, if you guys remember that one. Poseidon. They're just buffing him lightly by reducing his mana, help him out a little bit. Baron Semitic life of the party decreased self-slow from 60 to 40%. Increased tick damage scaling from 6% of your magical power to 8%. Anyway, here's a big change here. I'm not going to read all this. Basically, they're rebalancing Serket because she's so popular in support. They're changing her stats and things to make it better for being a full damage assassin, which is the intent. And I don't have a problem with them balancing based on intent of something, as in you make an assassin with the intent of it being popular as a jungler, but she's more popular in a different role, which goes against why she was made. So, shifting things around. Anyway, Catalyst passive, shifted damage on the basic attack that consumes 2 poisons from 10% max HP to 5% plus 70% of your physical power. See, they put scaling on it. And then 3 poisons is, instead of 20% max HP, is 10% plus 100% of your physical power. Deathbane decreased base damage, but increased physical power scaling 45 to 50% per hit. Same thing, Cobra's Kiss reduced, but 50 to up to, now it has 70% per hit. Decreased leap range of ambush from 65 to 55, decreased base damage. Increased scaling to from 70 to 90%. Last breath. Decreased base damage from 100 to 400 to 102 to 300. It does more at rank 1, whatever. Your damage per tick across 6 ticks is 17 to 50. Increased physical power scaling from 80% to 120. While firing this ability, Berserker will now gain 35% damage mitigation. I don't know if that's necessary with the logic you guys have to do that, because you don't want her to be a support, but you're giving her a mitigation stat on an ability. I don't know. They just don't want you to get picked off, I guess, when you're ulting somebody, but this ult is already really strong, so... I don't know. Thor... Anvil of Dawn lightning damage increased from 15 to 55 to 20 to 60. Increased range of arcs from 30 to 35. Cupid increased physical power scaling from 75 to 80% on Heart Bomb. To keep up with other hunters, I guess. Jingwei explosive bolts increased damage per shot from 110 to 120% of Jingwei's physical power. I don't like this god. I don't have anything to say about this. Jibalanke, decreased cooldown on poison darts from 18 to 4. Oh, it's the top. Okay, the lower rank cooldown's been reduced. Oh, Ymir's scales down by 2 seconds now across ranks. That's fun. Jing Qian Sky Cutting Axe increased protection buff from 30 to 20 to 40. Bro, increased duration by 1 second to 4 seconds. Dude, what? This god's so OP now. No, he's not. But that's cool, because I do like Jing Qian. In support specifically, in Soul, he's terrible for the most part, because he can't clear efficiently. Cthulhu's Sanity Break increased base damage from 90 to 270 to 100 to 300. What is this buff, dude? I thought Guardians were fine until right now. Oh, here it is. The god no one can figure out. Because he's impossible to balance, apparently. Since this additional nerf to his passive way back sometime after he was released. I don't remember. It was probably within the same year. Berserk increased health shield from 10 to 10 per level to 10 to 15. From 10 plus 15 per level. Salmon Leap decreased cooldown from 16 to 15 seconds. And that's going to do it. Back to the top. Quick note. I have figured out high-res balances based on sunk cost fallacy. Now, for those of you kids that don't know business stuff or just general, you know, I guess that's a logic thing more than it is a business thing, although it does play into certain business things with like insurance, but bear with me for a second. Basically, that sunk cost fallacy is a trap of believing that because you put effort into something, you have to get a certain amount of value out of it. Even if that thing is not worth more after you put the work into it or any better. So, example, you get an old car or something, you fix it up, and then you're like demanding a certain amount for it, but it's only worth as much, but you're asking for more because you put the work in. It's got to be worth more money, right? No, it's not. Your effort is not directly responsible for your return. There's another way to look at it that I was going to explain, and I can't quite remember. Or it's just basically the idea, or the other idea of, I paid for this thing, so I'm going to, or I got this thing, or I put the effort in to make it, so I'm going to use it, even if it's stupid and it's terrible. That's how high-res works. They want everything to be playable because, dang it, they put the effort in, so it all has to work. That's why they constantly buff and nerf things that don't need it. Because everything's got to stay at this level where, oh, it can't be too strong, but it needs to be strong enough that we feel good about getting the value back that we put in. And that's stupid. Because some things just aren't good. They're inherently bad. Trying to make it better just makes other people miserable. You haven't improved anything. In fact, a lot of times you've done the opposite in that case. And high-res eventually is going to learn, I hope, that that's just not the way to run your game. If some things are bad, let them be bad. It's okay. Not everything has to work. Anyway, that's my little ending rant. So, with that, like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Look at the 9.3 Update Notes. Leave a comment down below if you want about the notes. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me anything. And as always, check out the links down in the description. I'll see you guys next time for some more Smite. Have a good one.